matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't, if you have no love, you have nothing. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus, I love Jesus, I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him, I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. They may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get From Rage to Responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com for an autographed copy or call 800-411-BOND and donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, on this fine Monday. It is a fine Monday to be back with you today, okay? We're awaiting the arrival of the Anchor Baby. You're saying in the chat, it's a pleasure, like it is always, to be back here on Monday, okay? So we got a bit of a show for you. Can't wait to get into it. Can't wait to see all of you. And all of the things, okay? See you in the chat if you want to call in and all that. I don't know why you're calling me Black, okay? I'm pretty much on time. And when I say pretty much, I mean on time. That intro started when that 11 was 00, okay, folks? So I don't think you could call me that. That's just not fair, even though some of my oldest viewers know that I may, in fact, be. You know, you're saying I have Jerry curls. You're saying I have Jerry curls. Shake your dreads. Shake your dreads. But, okay, well, let's just move on from that. Maybe you were right, chat. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope your weekend was fine. It was full of rest, full of whatever you wanted it to be. And what else here, folks? Look, we're back here in the chair, so that's nice. We're back here in the chair. Look, I needed a couple of days. That's all. Hiatus sounds like a long time, no? You know what? Someone came to church on Sunday. And they came right up to me, and they looked me in the eyes, and they seriously asked me. They're like, Nick, and what was the word he used? Something like, Nick, is everything okay? I heard you're going to. What did he say? He said something that sounded like hiatus, but it sounded really bad, and it wasn't that at all. But shout out to you, man. No, it was just a couple of days so we could bring back the planes and bring back the Friday streams. You know, a lot of people like those. And I noticed someone said the other day it's been a whole year. So we just took a couple days to bring it back. That's all. Hiatus. I don't know if you could call it that, but welcome, everybody. We got a bit of a show today on Monday. Happy Men's History Month. What else here? Look, Happy Men's History Month. If you want to call in, that's 888-775-3773. Something on your mind. Something you want to talk about. We got news. We got a number of things to get into. So, you know, kick back a little bit. I didn't see a single speck of paint on your hands on Punchy Knit. Don't worry about that, man. Don't worry about that, man. Don't hang on every word. We got it all done. We got it all done. And then we were also even able to be live on Punchy. That was this past week. Thanks for watching, Thor Mode. What's up, chat? What's up, everybody? Happy Men's History Month. What else? 888-775-3773. Amazing. I know I want to get into some of this stuff here. I want to say hello to my folks here, my viewers. Nick got hot sauce in his purse. How you doing, Mr. Pink? You know, we haven't fixed this username thing, huh? That hasn't changed, huh? We'll fix that. I don't know if we can even. How you doing, Rumble viewers? Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll get to the supporters and all that. We'll get to all that. So anyways, look, I want to get into it. How about we just get into story number 1? DC cleaned up. I'm into this, Mr. President. You know, it's like dictator vibes. They're saying it's pretty bad. It's dictator vibes. They're protesting even because the guy wants to make it clean. He wants to clean it up. He wants to clean it up and deal with the crime. And it seems to already, you know, it's like one of those things. You see the news, you see all the claims and the promises. You're like, okay, let me just watch. Let me see what happens. But it seems like already let me show you what DC under dictatorship looks like. Let me show you let me show you a couple citizens. Do you call them citizens under a dictatorship? Are they just like victims? What do you call them? CNN, help me out here. MSNBC, educate me here. ChatGPT. I don't want to misinform the people. Let me show you what the citizenry, how they feel under a Trump dictatorship in DC. Terrible stuff, folks. I just want you to hear from them. I want you to hear from them. I don't want to add color. I don't want to add color where it shouldn't be. Add to it where I don't need to. I don't want to do that. So I'll let you hear from the dictated, the dictees, No, that's definitely not it. That's definitely not it. I'll let you hear from them.
Finally able.
Oh, by the way, some of these individuals will use colorful language that you don't want to hear, that sometimes it's far too early to hear. So for those a little too sensitive, okay, just a fair warning. But check it out.
Finally able to chill at a red light with my window down, not worried about if one of them young niggas is coming. Ride through the city, feeling more safe than I ever felt.
Terrible stuff. The dictated. She black. No cussing, man. What you dictees? Whoa, pause. What? 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 I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Tron. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but we're talking about people living under a dictatorship. Okay? And she is reporting no more YNs. Okay? That's a person of colorful language, you racist. Look, I can't pay attention to everything, chat. I can't do it all. This person using their colorful language, I think, has expressed themselves in a fine way. In a fine way. And they've been very clear. No, she's not dealing with YNs, okay? Young Nicaraguans at the red light. You know, I've heard about that. About young Nicaraguans in Nicaragua, a country, which is a nation in Central America. And I've heard of young Nicaraguans in the country of Nicaragua at a red light coming up to you and taking your watch. In fact, let's go to Colombia for a second. I remember hearing this growing up. That you get used to wearing watches on your right hand. At that time, I didn't know that. Maybe I didn't know if you wore them on the left or the right. I don't know. But they got used to wearing it on the right hand because when you're at a red light and you got a watch on the left wrist, it's basically gone skis, okay? It's basically gone. Okay. I heard of that in third world countries. So I'm sure it's been like that in America in some places. I'm sure. I'm not saying it hasn't, but I just remember hearing that growing up. Just saying, okay? I mean, I'm sure there's places, gas stations you don't want to go to maybe at night. So cool developments, call it that. Cool developments out of D.C., you know. Call it some cool developments, no? That's just one lady, Nick.
The city is...
Okay, come on. Let me give you a few more.
Quiet as a church motion. Man, down the city is quiet as a church motion. I came all the way down Pennsylvania Avenue this morning. So peaceful, yeah. I don't smell no weed, young. I don't see no homeless people. I mean, I came all the way through the southeast side, all the way down here. You can see now I'm at the White House jump, man. It's quiet, yeah.
It's quiet, yeah. Wait, I need to examine this. I need to acquire some of this.
You can see now I'm at the White House jump, man.
White House jump, what?
It's quiet, yeah.
It's quiet, yeah.
It's a shame
I like that.
That it takes somebody to
have quiet,
to sit in your classroom in order for you to be in order, yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like, yeah?
Yeah.
You got to be babysitter to do your job, yeah? Stuff been out of control for years. You got to do better, yeah? You got to do better.
Oh, that's actually DC slang? Okay.
Yeah. And mainly, young, you got the problems. It's
young.
Us, man.
He's saying young.
It's always us giving everybody a bad name, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how long this lasts, yeah? How many murders was it last night? How many carjackings was it last night? Talk to me. And y'all keep on posting all these data numbers and things of that nature that y'all see everybody else reposting.
That's just a black Republican, right? He's just a black conservative? Well, that's just the apparition being judgmental, right?
The stuff that came from the Metropolitan Police Department and the mayor, yeah? Let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something.
I think this guy lives there. If you're a naysayer, I think he lives there. I think we're getting a better look at than most of the news and stuff. I want to believe he's saying like, yeah, I'm with you, Cloud Bops, but Gregatron's saying it's DC slang, and and the more he's saying it, the more I hear young. The more I hear young.
You can't be that stupid. You can't be, man. Who enters that information to get that data analysis, young? People do. You can enter whatever numbers you want to make whatever report show what, but you can't hide the crime, young. You can't do it.
You can't.
Let me give you something to break it down to you for those that don't understand. I retired from UPS, right? So what they used to do to play with the numbers or whatever, we have mission packages. You'll have drivers over the hours. They'd go in and enter the information, and the report would show whatever they needed to show to keep their bonus that week for their bosses not to fire their ass. So stop believing that stuff. And I don't know.
Oh, the corruption of the numbers. But I was telling you guys the other day, does that even matter? You're not living in DC and you're watching the news. Hey, but the news says this and that. Does that even matter? There's the person that was in DC being affected by the crime, whatever that is and whatever that's happening. Does that even matter? That's like. And then I was watching the Hake Report, and that was awesome. That was the other day. And he was I think he was comparing some of the numbers. They're saying the numbers are down. And I think he went back way farther than most people are doing. Than most people are going right now. I forget. I think he went back to the 90s or the 80s. You compare crime. It's been violent. I don't care about piddly little, the crime is going down. It's down this much % this year.
I had to deal with the DC government, young, but they suck, young. They have got a lot more.
So that was him. I think there's even others, but I had seen some of these. Okay, I had seen some of these coming out of DC. Black people, they're like, okay, Trump, you're making it happen. It's looking clean. I'm seeing no homeless. I'm not smelling weed in the air, apparently. I mean, if you follow what this guy's saying, I don't live in DC, but he's walking his way up to the White House, and I guess it's normal to just be smelling pot, out in the air. Just smell a whole bunch of pot. And I've been down the streets like that, there's a whole bunch of pot being smoked. So anyways, pretty cool. They're saying dictator vibes. I mean, in some cases they're being pretty nice. When you see some videos, we don't need to go through it all. It was some videos of these homeless people saying, I don't know, we were respectful. They didn't mess with us. I don't know if that's what I want to see. It's like, just I want to see more of this. I'm reading these articles that saying the Trump administration has also begun clearing homeless encampments across the city as part of its public safety push. It's one of those controversial things. What do you do? What do you do? I think it's been, decades and decades and programs and governors and saying this and that. Well, now you got a president bringing in these from National Guard to federal agents. Now, the National Guard, I believe, aren't doing any arrests. But, it's a presence there. But there are federal agents who are helping with the law enforcement. There's something going on there. And Pam Bondi here saying nearly 400 arrests since Trump's D.C. takeover. I was trying to find some numbers and trying to compare this kind of stuff. Like, they'll tell you 400 arrests. 400 arrests. Like, wow, what's the average arrest? Like, what's D.C. look like on an average day? They say 56 arrests a day. It's clearly a whole bunch more activity with Trump around and doing what he's doing. You got these people saying, hey, it's safe. Like, there's no homeless around in these areas. I got to say, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty freaking awesome. And some are wondering, will this spread? Will this go beyond D.C.? I mean, look, the left, right, I mean, they, Democrat, Republican, most people want to be safe, right? That we know. That's just obvious. But it's just the articles all express the obvious too, which is something you don't get from the media. I mean, they're all saying the same, like this Axios article. MAGA is eager for DC patrols to spread to other cities. But in this very article, they admit, hey, this is a topic that's very, very, that does very well with our base, was what the article basically said. You know, safety, a safe city, a safe anything, just a safe place to live. You know, you just can't have a country. You can't have success. You literally can't have anything if you don't deal with this crime stuff. It's the pathway to South Africa. I mean, there's probably a few of those if you wanted to get poetic, but consider that nobody dealing with crime and just letting it get worse, saying, what do we do? And then coming up with programs and saying, oh, well, and then having their agency say, hey, look, the crime is down, but nobody's really dealing with it. And everybody's scared to say, well, look at these blacks, they're doing all this stuff. They're justified by some overarching decades and decades story narrative of racism and crap. And it's like, what? That is how if you don't deal with that, you can never get better. Like, the country can never be great again. It can't be anything. It can only get terrible. This is major, actually. Dealing with crime. It's actually huge the more you think about it. So anyways, I mean, they're out there protesting, right? Because it's like a political thing. So it's like a Trump versus, it's more than, it's not cleaning up DC. It's a matter of, well, this guy's a dictator. He's also against immigrants, all these other things. He's against immigrants. He's not allowed, right? It's like it's unconstitutional. It's not democratic. All this crap. What are they out here fighting? For criminals to be not dealt with so harshly or at all. They may not even realize this, but that's effectively what this is, right? So they're out there with their no ICE signs, Trump is a liar and all that, but this was spurred on by this DC stuff as well, according to Freedom News here.
Trump must go now!
So, suicidal? I don't know. I mean, they're spurred on to do all this, making it difficult to what? Clean things up. Is it just me, folks? Did it look like, if you look at this crowd, what, is DC known? I know I'm going to sound very ignorant here, but there's probably universities and colleges, right? In every freaking state of America, right? Is it like a known college town? It seems young. No, I see old people, but I see a lot of white people. Maybe young, students, idiots, whatever. Just emotionally driven. I mean, think about this. They're at a protest. You're at a mere protest. I mean, you're out there yelling things with a sign, thinking it'll do something. So, yeah, you're emotionally driven. That being said, I can't help but notice the demographics a bit here. And I'm looking at those earlier videos. They're like, yeah, well, I'm so glad I could stop at a red light. You know, it's one of those things. It's one of those, call it insulated maybe. And I'm not saying blacks are not brainwashed. But I'm seeing some sort of, what is the word here? Maybe not hypocrisy, but there's something poetic about this crowd, no? Hey, guys, this guy's a dictator. Actually, you know what? There's a couple of levels here because, yeah, it shows maybe like an ignorance, an insulated crowd that's like a white liberal crowd maybe. And they're like, okay, we know this guy wants to deal with crime. This guy's actually being a dictator. Meanwhile, the people who would be helped the most would be maybe those that they think are the least of us that need protection, right? The black people, the poor people, the homeless people, even though their encampments are being moved. But that's for their good as well. We'll get to that in a moment. It's just, you know, there's something missing there in foresight here. They're like, okay, hey, you're a dictator. Stop what you're doing. And they're going to end up hurting, you know, blacks and poor people probably the most. That being said, though, it's also kind of a weaponization, so to speak, of call it the nature or the proclivities of maybe white people. Like, consider this. You know, we were out there on Hollywood with Jesse Lee Peterson asking them about White History Month. And white people just don't want a White History Month. They just don't want one. They just want to be American. And, you know, they like the rules. There's something you could say, oh, these dumb white liberals and all that. But at the same time, you could also say, I think these are also just people who like their system, even if they were the system that they were told is how it's supposed to be, right? These are the rules. They like the rules. They like how it works. And it's kind of be weaponized in a sense. Don't you see it? You know, hey, you know, the status quo has been this way. How's this guy going to come and just shake things up? But we didn't decide this. That's something maybe almost white about that in like a orderly way. Like some part of that was maybe weaponized. It's maybe not all just, hey, we got to protect black people. What's wrong with this guy? And then they end up hurting them, but it's maybe not all that. So that's what I want to say about DC and all this. What else? I had a couple plus signs here. Let me add some extra things. It's pretty much about DC. Pretty cool. I like that we're dealing with the homeless encampments. I think it shouldn't be called hardcore, but it might be in this day and age. I mean, you're saying you can remove them? I mean, the public discourse as it stands, last I checked, I guess. How do you even check that? Last I paid attention, I mean, look, it seems like not something you can really still say. Like, well, you got to have somewhere to put them, right? This is tantamount to killing them. This is tantamount to, right? You're getting rid of their homes. These are not housed people. You're getting rid of their street homes. I think it's awesome. There doesn't need to be a place to put them. There doesn't need to be any of that. Okay, the worst thing on a political and society building, from a society building standpoint, so to speak, the worst and most evil thing that has been done from, you know, the city's part and like the government's part is the enabling of this, the looking the other way. This was actually your job. These are happening on the streets. These are happening in the public areas. And this is actually your duty, was to not allow this to get so bad, to grow and fester. Okay? The most humane thing you could do is not allow them to be such drags, you know, to not allow them to debase themselves to such a level, you know, in the public streets of America. So I think it's quite humane. Okay, because pain, it may sound like pain, it may seem mean, but these are the things. I think comfort. You know, comfort is so much worse. I mean, that's what everybody's in. Everybody is in like a false piece of comfort. The vast majority of people are. That's why your life is the way it is. You're kind of comfortable. You're fine with it. You're honestly fine with it. You're fine with it. Have you realized that? You're fine with what's going on with you right now. And you're somewhat fine with it. And you're comfortable. And yeah, those homeless people are comfortable. Very comfortable. In fact, if you look at it in some perspective, you could say they're more comfortable than you. Maybe. I mean, that's one perspective, right? Because in your daily life, you kind of have to. This is stuff you have to do, right? You'd rather be like doing all this other stuff, but I guess you got to work, right? You got to feed yourself a bit. You're like, all this stuff to do. In a certain way, the homeless. This is a joke. What I'm about to say. Have reached a certain enlightenment. I could go somewhere with that, but I don't have the words to make a good joke about it. But you know, they're just like, they just decided, no, I'm just not going to do any of that. I don't have to. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be more comfortable. So you can see it that way. But the point is that comfort is death. So whatever. I'm not saying the city is in charge of their spiritual growth, but you are in charge of just cleaning things up. Stuff I was thinking about. I think it's cool. You don't have to have a place to put them, personally. but I'm not against that either, right? A little charity, whatever. It's not that expensive, you know. It's like there's a bunch of other things that are really expensive. But what else about this? I mean, more footage of what else was there? I mean, there was some footage of them cleaning up all the homeless stuff. I mean, you just got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it, Mr. President. Spread it to all the cities. Take over the country. But what else? What else? I guess you got some of these transients fighting. Okay, I lost the footage wherever that went. It was some homeless people fighting. Fighting the people trying to clean things up. Oh yeah, and I guess one more here. People telling you, don't worry about DC, gang. Do you even live in DC?
I don't understand it, and I don't think I ever will. Why the fuck is people that's not from the city saying DC's not that bad? Why is a nigga from Denver, Colorado saying DC's not that bad and Trump is just trying to be a dictator? Gang. DC is fucking like Gotham City, bruh. Like, y'all do not know. Y'all out of towners, mo. Mind y'all fucking business, bruh. 4 infants got killed in a month.
I can't let gang know I F with this music.
This shoot is every day. Carjacking is every day. The city is fucking wild right now, bruh. And it might say it's the lowest it's ever been. That's because these niggas is not getting caught. There's just so much shit going on. Y'all don't even know, bruh. I'm really recovering from getting shot in DC, gang.
He got shot. Oh, wow.
So for y'all out-of-towners to be like, DC's not that bad and this shit don't need to be done, y'all don't know shit, bruh. Like, for real, y'all don't know shit, bro.
Make this man mayor. Make this man mayor post-haste. That won't go badly. That won't be a mistake, I don't think. What? It might be. I think it'd be an instant improvement, honestly. You know what else would be an instant improvement? I did not plan on playing this. Oh, I'm not even going to find this video. It just came to mind. It was this guy, I think, in Memphis, which was just recently reported to be the most dangerous city in America. And he was like, what he would do if he became president. Make some laws against N. I'm sorry. I'm not going to find it, folks. Let's move on here. But that man should also be maybe mayor of Memphis. Look, that's DC for you. Keep it up, Mr. President. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things. Is some pendulum swinging here? That almost sounds so shallow to me. That some pendulum is swinging on crime. Yeah, you know what? These Democrats went too far with this. It's time to swing it back, guys, because the Democrats went too far. It's time to bring back the cops because it's not the obvious thing to do. It's not just basic. It's not just what leaders do, what city planners do, what the government is in charge with. No, these Democrats went too far with this, man. We got to bring back the cops. What is this pendulum swinging nonsense? People don't have free will. People don't have free will. The pendulum swings. We have free will. We think for ourselves. Literal pendulum swings and whole country goes a different direction. Free will. Anyways, 888-775-3773. We're talking about DC being cleaned up and all that. And I can't help, but I mean, am I sick? Am I a sick person maybe? Kind of like the sick thrill of those people who like watching that submarine implode over and over again. It's like, oh my God, let me wake up and watch the Titan submarine implode again and watch this animation of someone turn into pink mist. Maybe I'm sick and these videos, I'm just like, I got to show this to my viewers. I'm not showing you death, although people died in this. It was that Indian truck driver doing that U-turn. Did you guys hear about this? You guys see that? And I see calls. I'll get to all my calls. Semi-truck driver arrested after illegal U-turn kills 3 people on Florida Turnpike. let's see here. Because this was like one of those things that just, I'm like, this wouldn't have happened in my America. I mean, maybe, okay, let me not make that joke. But it just gets worse, you know? It's worse than just a semi-truck driver and a family of 3 dead. It's like an illegal. But this illegal was very legally, what's it called? Licensed. Okay? They just giving CDLs out to anybody, okay? It's like, yeah, make the driverless trucks now. This is what happens when you start having Harjinger Singh, okay? Which, maybe there's a bunch of fine Singhs out there, but look, Harjinger Singh here, you get a Harjinger Singh crashing his, doing illegal turns with his, I would call it illegally procured CDL, you know, the license that lets you drive a truck. I'd call it illegally procured. It's probably in that gray area. I mean, you can get a driver's license and illegal. So would you call it illegal procuring of a driver's license? Maybe not. I would, because you're an illegal. I would call this an illegal procuring of a CDL. You got Harjinger Singhs. You got, I don't know, you got Floyd's. That's the first black last name that came to mind, folks. Sorry. You got Floyd's or whatever out there in Memphis. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to have the robot dogs with the guns. You're going to have the robot AI, you know, robot-driven trucks. You just got to. Okay, I mean, look, our Jinger Singhs are crashing they're U-turning and doing illegal stuff. Let's get rid of the people. No more people labor. Okay? It's like, now we can't have nice things. And whatever. I don't know what that kind of future would look like. But Harjinger Singh was taken into custody after investigators say he tried making an illegal U-turn, causing a minivan to collide with the side of his commercial semi-truck. All 3 people in the Chrysler minivan were killed in the crash. Terrible story out of Florida. And they say he possibly crossed into California illegally and then was able to get a CDL.
Northbound lanes
some news for you here.
Because of this crash that killed all 3 people in a minivan. A woman from Pompano Beach, northbound lanes were gridlocked. Because of this crash that killed all 3 people in a minivan. A woman from Pompano Beach, a man from Miami, and the driver from Florida City. Florida Highway Patrol says the 2 men in the semi crossed all northbound lanes to get here, an official use only turnaround section near mile marker 171. In the process of getting to the U-turn, troopers say the other car could not avoid the truck, resulting in the van slamming into the semi and being wedged underneath. Northbound lanes were gridlocked.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you can't even, you see in the video, I mean, the guy seems to be taking some U-turn, but he has to take it from the rightmost lane, or at least some sort of lane to the right. You know, he's obviously not on the leftmost lane to make a U-turn. I mean, you're a big old truck. You have to imagine why he did that. Sometimes you may have seen trucks do that. They take a right turn or a left turn from one lane over, giving them enough room to make that turn. So I imagine something like that because look, there's the highway on that side. There's the end of the highway, like the you know, where it dips down, right? It's grass. This guy's taking the craziest U-turn. Car coming up. This car could not. That's the car. Could not stop. They added this music, folks. I don't know. I guess they added this music. Terrible stuff. Just terrible. I mean, a lot of people were commenting on their face. Like, wow, look, just did not care. Just a face that did not care. Incompatible with our society. I mean, look at it. Just a face that just did not care. Maybe. I don't know. I've seen a lot of film, folks. I've seen a lot of film accidents. I've seen a lot of film, and I don't know. People just sometimes don't make a face. You know what's incompatible? Making illegal U-turns. That's incompatible with American society. Okay. A lot of you out there maybe have done illegal U-turns. But I'm sure you're all familiar. Like, you know, is there really a deep take here? Look, illegals and foreigners don't follow the rules and don't follow customs. Okay, but honestly, that to me is enough of a reason to be very strict with all that. Okay. Oh, but like people here, they do illegal U-turns and get people killed. I don't care. We're talking about this right here. Anyways, what else? Let's get to calls. We'll get back to some of this stuff. You know, we're talking about brown people. Maybe more brown coming up. Maybe more on my terrible problem I have. Yeah, more on that later. 888-775-3773. Let's get to William, number 3 out of California. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
What's going on? So what you think about that, them drivers and everything, man? Because you know they got a lot of illegal licenses.
Those truck drivers?
Yeah.
Man, it's just, I'm all too familiar with the, call it the lowering of standards that foreigners bring in. I mean, they say they're like engineers and great and all that. And I mean, in some cases they are, but I'm just all too familiar. I'm all too familiar with even like upstanding, you know, maybe even like somewhat decent people. But when they get into the system, they game it. Like even my own family jump in the line in the medical system up in Canada, because you know you all got to wait for your turn in the socialized healthcare up there. Everybody waits their turn.
Yeah.
Not my family. Not my Indian friends' families. Hell no. They're not waiting for. They're like, heck no. We are jumping over these white people who've been waiting forever, and they do not care.
Yeah. Yeah, and they also have illegal. Some of these people are legally driving too now. Not all of them are fake license. They're driving everything: buses, cabs, Uber, delivery trucks, semis. They driving everything, and they running it. You see what just happened right there?
Terrible. Yeah, to get a little bit there faster, you know.
I don't know what you're doing making a U-turn in that situation he was in anyway. I don't know what they smelled some curry rice or something and said, let's make a U-turn and go back to that restaurant. I don't know what they were thinking about.
It's one of those things. It's how to shave off time to anybody. I think anybody knows it's, I wish I could run this red light or, you know, get around this place here and get there faster. You know, I wish I didn't have to follow this rule. I'm sure maybe people can relate to that, but some people don't have that. They do not control that at all. They're like, you know, no one's looking. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
How the passenger was kicking back and no worries in the world. I mean, they just, nah, I don't think so.
It really is.
Probably need to clean that up.
I mean, it's a question of society, really. It's a question of society building. You wonder, why are countries the way they are, okay? It's because of this. You think, Nick, really because of this one U-turn? No, I'm really talking now way more generally. It's just how people are, how they're raised, and what people allow each other to do. You know, here in America, just growing up, just mere culture, I don't know how else to call it, just mere societal custom stops you from doing so many things, which is fine. It's great. You know, you wonder, why is India the way it is? Well, because people don't care.
Right. Yeah, like that cleanup you were showing. You know, they're not playing around with that. And like that guy was saying, what did he say? He was at home recovering from a gunshot wound in Washington, D.C.? Is that what the guy said?
That's what one guy was saying. He showed his hand. It looked like he had a cast or something. I don't know. He's talking about him recovering from a gunshot wound, yeah.
The crime is going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that's cap.
Yeah, he said these people. Why is someone from Cleveland, Ohio, telling me that DC's fine? Is what he was saying.
Hey, I think you heard me this morning. They found somebody in the mayor's office cooking the books.
I heard about that, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
third world country.
Yeah, man. What did he call it again? He said it was what? A third world country.
I'm saying that sounds like third world country stuff, right? It's our officials just coming out saying, oops, we cooked the books. We totally fibbed about everything you voted us in for. It's like, what the heck?
Man, and then they always talking about a democracy. Trump is messing up this democracy. That's the problem. It's not a democracy. It's a republic. You guys are messing it up for everybody. I mean, all those tents and everything. Yeah, they're pulling them down in Washington, D.C., and they're coming to a town near you. So L.A. might be next. They might clean that up, too.
That'd be crazy.
How would you like it if they cleaned up and knocked those tents down in downtown L.A.?
You know, William, I went around yesterday filming. You know, if you guys, we've all been watching Jesse Lee Peterson's show for some time, and we watch that intro every morning, and it's scenes. I don't know when it was filmed, 80s or 90s, and it's scenes from around L.A., and you see it in that intro. It's like people strung out on the street. I went around yesterday, and I went and found pretty much all those intersections and all that in the JLP intro and filmed them again. And I got to tell you, it's not much better.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why people like Trump is because he doesn't really talk about nothing. He just give you one idea that he's going to do it, and then the next day he do it. That's what he do. And he might come down. I think they said they're headed you guys' way. They're going to come to all these major towns and clean them up, he said. He's going to use the National Guard to knock the stuff down. Just knock it down and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. I mean, what else can you do at this point?
It's not okay. It's really not okay for you to be in an office building, cubbyhole, with a tent, and people coming out the office with their Brooks Brothers suits on and looking at it. It's not okay. It's not okay. I don't know what they're trying to do by doing that, though. Are they saying you're not? What are they doing when it's like when they put it on public buildings? What are they saying? Are they saying this is how you have not taken care of us? If it's some kind of message with that, because I don't know if I'd have to be in a tent situation. I don't think I'd want to be tented out on Wall Street.
That's true. But
well, I don't know.
They seem to congregate in those areas.
Does it seem like they're sending a message by doing that? Because they go in front of people's business like they got a property deed.
You know, you bring up an interesting thing. Yeah, they seem to congregate and go to the. You'd think. Not that we're supporting it anywhere, but I mean, you'd think it'd be a lot more. Pushed away, hidden away, or something. But they go to the places where
you would think,
right
you would
in your
think
face,
it would
where
be,
the cops are going to come and tell them, "Hey, what's up?" And they just fight, and then the cops just stop, and then they're winning. Is what I'm trying to say. They seem to be winning.
Yeah.
How are they winning? How are they taking territory?
I would
and
think
winning?
that it would be more pushback with the businesses too, though, Nick.
Yeah,
I don't understand that either. That part, you know. The businesses are not pushing it hard enough either. It's like I remember once upon a time, a business would tell you no.
That's
you
fair.
can't loiter.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I don't know if it seems like
Jesse doesn't allow that around the Bond building. I'll tell you that much.
Well, how would you feel if they cleaned up downtown right now? If the guard came through there right now,
that would be incredible. I mean, I was just talking with a buddy yesterday who helped me film all that, and he was telling me how it's just he grew up in the city. He grew up all over, and he's like, I don't find it safe anywhere in the city anymore, and I do not walk anywhere at night, anywhere. And he said, especially in the city, in like downtown.
Yeah.
So imagine just that cleaned up. It would be a different country, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so if he's coming out there, if he hits these towns. It doesn't sound like the people are disagreeing with it. It seems like it's the media and the politicians that are pushing a fake narrative on it, of taking over their towns. Hey, Trump is the kind of guy to do something instead of talk about it. If he has to come and show you how to clean it up, hey, so be it.
Nice.
That'll be a bonus for everybody.
I agree. Yeah, and I think a lot of people want it. So could you imagine this on the road?
You know what I mean? But
it would be very popular.
They don't want to be politically incorrect, but I think people, they know that stuff is not right. They do.
Like presented in the right way, I think it'd be popular, even despite maybe even protests all over or whatever, wherever they went to do this. I think a lot more would be silent and be like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, they'd be scared to say it out loud. Like, you know, me, I don't care. I'll say it. It's a good thing to clean that up. But they got a lot of people in California, as you know, that they want to be politically correct and they won't say it out loud. they'll be under their breath saying thank God, but in the open they'll be like, well, they have to go somewhere. No, you shouldn't have nowhere for them to go. That should end. Period. Where should they be? Where should we put them?
You know what? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I think
that's
not even that bad to be honest.
Your responsibility or mine.
But you know what? I think it's an old thing. I think it's been around a lot longer than I. And what am I getting at? Just like the simple. What am I getting at without getting too deep into something I don't know? It seems like charity and being charitable and that kind of stuff has been around for a long time in America. Put it like this: can there be shelters and stuff? Fine, but imagine if you just didn't have a country that exacerbated it all and justified it and just allowed them to put up shop anywhere you want and drugs anywhere you want. Someone was telling me who works yesterday. I was working with a buddy. He works deeply in the whole call it the, you know what, I forget how he put it, but it's basically he works a lot with homeless people and he works for the county and
outreach.
And so I'll leave it at that. But basically he's very familiar with all this. And so what's going on now is they have a totally new policy where, because I was asking about, well, when in these shelters and all these programs, I mean, you pretty much have to clean yourself up, right? You have to follow a curfew and you have to get off the drugs, at least, in a major way. And he said, no, that changed recently. It's a housing first model, as it's called, meaning housing is a right. So you don't have to clean up first. You don't have to stop fighting and you don't have to follow the curfew. You have to get housed first. It's your right. And so they have a housing first model. So what's happening is then, like this new apartment they built that JLP reported on some months or maybe a year ago downtown. Karen Bass was like, yeah, we're going to open up this apartment. We're going to fill it up with homeless people. Yeah, it's a mess because these people don't have to clean up, right? So it's already like a condemned mess. Mm-hmm. We drove by yesterday.
It's a red tag situation.
Yeah.
Everything down there is a red tag situation. It just needs to be a dump truck go through there and just clean it up. And then as far as where are they going to go? You don't have anywhere for them to go. It just needs to end. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be that way. That is so socialist to even allow that. It seems like, to me, like another country. Yeah. It's so out there.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your call, William. Anything else you want to say here?
All right. No. I know you like the Trump show of force and standing up with Putin the other day. I know you like that.
Yeah, I was actually watching it live a little bit, and then he came on with Putin, and then they said like barely anything. It was some interesting things though, but they barely said anything. They didn't say anything. Like we loved to talk. It went amazing, and then they went away. I was like, because we were watching live, right? So I'm sitting there with my audience, like, all right, guys, that's it. That's pretty much it.
Well,
guys.
Yeah, because they're not gonna televise them negotiating.
That's what I thought, honestly. But I'm
not
silly. That's obviously not what's happening.
No, they won't. They won't show that live.
I mean, I've heard a lot about this. It's a little bit out of my purview here. Put it like this: I've heard a lot of smart people say this and that. It's like maybe you could say that Trump has had to concede in some ways, and that may even be true. But if you ask me, I think it's fine. I mean, I think he deserves it in a way. How Hake put it, as how he should win. He should win a little bit, especially if it'll bring peace. Hey
Vladimir,
man, how you doing?
Yeah, Vladimir actually said it.
I'm just talking to a caller here. I'm gonna get right to you.
The press conference, he said that this war would have never happened if he would have won 2020.
Yeah, William. Well, thank you, man. William, I got to let you go here. Can you call me again?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, and I'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care, William. All right, folks. We got impromptu guests. Yeah, man, you came to church. Right on, man. What's your name again? Isaiah. Pleasure to meet you. Let me open up your mic. Folks, we have an impromptu guest in this room right now. You may be confused. You may be wondering why I'm having three conversations at once. Don't be confused. We have some lovely people here. Oh, hey. I'm joined by Hake.
Let's get some smiles this way real quick.
We're getting some pics, folks. Hold on.
Can you take one?
Hey, Isaiah.
Yeah, it shows in the back.
Oh, they're just trying to get some pics in. Oh, okay. What's up, Isaiah? Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Yeah.
It's
You're
a
live
pleasure,
on.
man.
You're live with on American Anchor Baby.
Really? I don't think I ever been on this show. Watched this one. I've watched the Hake Report.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
of course I watch
JLP.
Yeah.
Of course, man. I met you Sunday. How long are you in How long are you in town?
Till Wednesday.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right on. And your lady friend?
She don't want to.
That was amazing, man. I'm glad you came, and I'm glad she came too. By the way, man, that was great.
Oh yeah, she's the one who's never gets angry when you get angry, and anger's cool.
She didn't even raise her hand. He was like, the lady in the back had her hand up. I looked at
Welcome to church.
Yeah.
That was great, man. I'm glad she came too. Honestly, it was great. I
did
loved
ask
it.
her when we got back to the room. I was like, when that hell comes up out of you, I don't know what I'm gonna do. She didn't. She didn't like that too much.
Amazing, man. And why JLP bring you in?
Oh, just to get all the.
Oh, is your mic even open? Hold on. And why JLP bring you in?
I saw him at the church on Sunday.
He's my producer.
Go ahead, Derek.
He picked the black producer? Was he on time?
Go
You
ahead,
picked the
Derek.
black producer?
It was an accident.
Was you late today?
Yeah, a little bit. Come in fashion.
So we got some. Let me see what the views are saying.
Oh, shoot.
They can't even see you, Hake.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Here we are.
So
What is
there's
this?
the pic. Looking good, fellas. So JLP just brought you guys in to say hi?
Yeah, just say hi and take a picture with you.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna let him take one with Derek.
Amazing.
Because he didn't know I had a black producer.
Oh,
They
you
got
didn't
rid of
believe
Joel.
it?
They got rid of Joel. So I was like, that's
Conspiracies.
hey, what did he say? If you white, it's Joel.
That's
If you
right.
black, it's
This is
Joel.
true. Callers, I'm going to get right back to you. Thanks for holding 888-775-3773. Now, what the heck was I talking about? You know what I was about to get into? My addiction to brown-skinned women.
Dang.
But
Good idea.
you said dang like you don't share the same proclivity. I'm just messing around, chat. Okay, we're just making jokes. Okay, trying to mess with the camera here.
Nice.
Try to put us all up here so I don't have to mess with this anymore.
You want to have babies out of wedlock?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying JD Vance is getting clowned on for his brown wife.
Come on out.
JD Vance have a brown wife?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
What?
He has a brown wife?
Yeah, he does.
Hindu.
No, because
Or something.
I can't find no me to snap the picture.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, thanks, fellas.
Bye.
Bye. All right, folks. So a little impromptu, a little chaos in the studio. Okay, a little bit of chaos in the studio, but it's no biggie. We're gonna get right back to my callers here. Okay, let me just mute all of these mics. I went nuts unmuting everything so everybody could hear everybody. What do you guys saying in the chat? You're like, go on, I'm listening. You're like, Nick, go on, I'm listening. Look. Maybe it's the taboo. Maybe it's because I'm a conquistador. I mean, that's in my blood. The Gonzales Cortez Spaniard blood in me wishes to look at the Mesoamerican. Right? I look upon the Mesoamerican with the desire to conquist, meaning race mix. That's what the Spaniards did. That's how South America was created. Okay, so I don't know what it is, but they're basically joshing big time on JD Vance. You know JD Vance, and then we're gonna get right to calls. You know JD Vance. I'm sure you know him well. Vice President of the United States. You know they're pitting him up against. Get this, Gavin Newsom, California Governor Gavin Newsom is turning out to be a bit of a rock star amongst the terminally online right wing right now. You know, they're comparing Gavin Newsom, right? You got Gavin Newsom on the left with unlimited aura, meaning he's just awesome. And then you got JD Vance on the right who has negative aura. He just has, he doesn't have zero aura, he has negative aura. And so they're saying on the left, Gavin Newsom here, I guess this is him young. He was born rich, not fat. I mean, that's pretty good. He's raised in a loving 2-parent household, not a fake Catholic, and didn't kill the Pope. You know, they say that J.D. Vance, when he went to meet the Pope, and he died soon after. I don't know why they're saying fake Catholic. I don't know why he's a real Catholic or not. I don't know. He embraces his Aryan heritage. Even the dog is white. I mean, look, here's a white man with his white wife and his white kids and the white dog, folks. And if you do the green line test with him and Trump, yeah, guess who's standing up absolutely straight while Trump, or Blumph, more like Blumph. This is right wing people, okay, people. This is the right wing who's into this, folks. Yeah, Chad white Aryan, Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance, right? He grew up in right. He wrote Hillbilly Elegy. Grew up with his grew up poor and all that. They're saying, and I'm sure they're just joking. They're embellishing for comedy. I'm sure that's how the internet is. Mom literally traded him for perks. You know, Percocets, opiates. It's a terrible thing. Wears T-shirts to swim. LMAO. Not a good look. JD. Has 2 beards. All right. Okay, so he's got a beard on his face, and then his wife is supposed to be his cover for being gay. Now you're just being like nasty, internet. And then he has a Bollywood family. And that's, let me translate, he has a very Bollywood-like family, they're saying. Meaning brown, meaning Indian. And they're hating on you, JD. They really be hating on you, JD. For Usha, okay? We share the same addiction. We share the same problem, JD. Chat knows this. Chat knows this a little bit, but I control myself, maybe. Talk about brown women. We're talking about brown women. But look, it's just whatever, man. JD, what do you think, folks? Does Gavin Newsom have unlimited aura? He seems to be enjoying this a little bit. He seems to be enjoying some of this. His Twitter, his X account has already jumped in on this, saying, "I miss that scarf," in the photo comparing. Chad, Gavin Newsom, Chad, rich, tall, white, handsome Gavin Newsom, and J.D. Vance, I guess in some bathroom. These are his female friends, I have to assume, pretending to pee. And it's a funny photo. It's a funny school photo, right? But okay, which way, America? See, look, Gavin Newsom seems to be peddling in this, jumping in on this. Folks, can you be that? Can you be that? Low IQ, huh? Don't you know this is a Democrat psyop? I'm laughing at myself a little bit. Because, man, this psyop it's pretty good, folks. This Democrat psyop is pretty good. Look, on a real note, I don't really trust either of them. Okay? I don't really trust either of them. You know, Gavin's not as tough as you guys put him. You know, he finds himself floundering. I see him floundering, every now and again, kind of more than every now and again on TV, doing these debates, sometimes doing these big overtures and big political shows of, oh, this person's so bad. How could they be so evil? I've seen him be pretty phony and be pretty weak. I don't trust either of them, folks. Look, I'm not saying anything. I think this was really more funny to me. Newsom appointed mostly white people last year. Reports coming in from Pilot Groyper. Pilot Groyper says, this is our guy. White people made up the majority of appointments last year by California Governor Gavin Newsom? Who's reporting this? Renewing interest in a bill that would require the governor's office to release demographic data of appointees. Yeah, I don't know. California Governor Gavin Newsom sues Trump administration to protect UCLA right to anti-Semitism. This is our guy. This is definitely our guy.
God is sending me these, make a little nice. I put a switch on all my bleach, make a little please.
I don't know. I guess you got to throw on the hard music when you're making the hard edits. That's just a funny thing. I don't know what to say. It's a funny thing. What else about this? You really think he's going to be tough free speech guy with this? Like, it's more like, oh, let me... You know, when I see Gavin Newsom say stuff like this, I really see him teaming up with, like, Palestinian-type people. Like, it's not smart. That being said, some of you have even mentioned this, I think, in the chat today, talking about D.C. and all that. Are they just putting in anti-Semitism shock troops across the country? You know, we're like, yay, they got rid of the crime today, but then tomorrow, when we're making jokes, anti-Semitic jokes, and then we're in jail, will we be laughing? I don't know. You guys maybe in the chat are maybe a little too quick, don't you think? Getting ahead of yourselves a little bit. I say to avoid such a future, you need to be as anti-Semitic as possible right now. And within reason, don't be an idiot, lose your job and all that. And when I'm saying anti-Semitic, I mean like as in a funny way, like as a joke. Not really hating people. That is not what I'm about. And if you don't love all, you don't love anybody. Okay? You call yourself a Christian. But I've noticed some change in how free speech is seen and dealt with generally concerning the Jewish stuff even. I mean, I'm on this show, I've called out some of that stuff and been like, hey, you know, straight up, you can hate even with the facts. Straight up, you can. And I see it all the time. And you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. But, man, there's been a cool thing going on with free speech and just kind of being able to speak freely a little bit more. And they'll call it anti-Semitic, but people don't care. And it's not getting banned. I think that's awesome. I really think that's freaking awesome. So keep it up. If we're all anti-Semitic, then nobody's anti-Semitic. And I mean that in the, like, speaking openly, not actually hating way. Do I have to say that again? Jeez. Let's see here. That's it with JD. Let me get to my calls here. I got plenty of calls here to get to. We'll get back to brown women. Miss Palestine versus Miss Israel. We're talking about beauty pageants. Important stuff, folks. Very important stuff. And Halle Berry, there's another brown woman for you. We'll get to all that. Okay, we'll get to all that. Riveting stuff. We need to get to Maze out of Dayton, Ohio, though. We got Maze. How you doing, Maze? Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Hello, Nick.
How you doing, Maze?
I still hope AI come up with something to cure the disease that some Europeans have.
And what's that?
Oh, and then I wanted to talk about Pam Bondi. You know, somebody came on there. Well, she fired the police chief. The police chief is not fired because it's unconstitutional what she did because she don't know what she's doing.
Oh, it was someone saying that?
They come from the court. Yeah, someone said it. That's always jumping somewhere and don't know where they're going.
Oh, so she did not. So she did not fire the police chief.
Yeah, she thought she was firing her, but she didn't know what she was doing.
Gotcha.
A judge had to step in and give her the law because she don't know it. I don't know where she come from. You know, unqualified.
Oh.
All call it. But anyway, and then
so she didn't strip their power?
Right. Evidently she couldn't. Evidently she couldn't. But then didn't ICE run out of money?
But you know, on this police chief, was she able to? She still
have her job.
Right, but was she able to strip her from her power, though, and give it to somebody else temporarily?
That's what she was trying to do. Well, ignorant self.
Was she unable to?
No, she was unable to.
And is that true?
Yes, it's true. All you got to do is look it up.
I know I have.
Stop letting people stop letting people
I
think.
know I have. I'm hoping to see. I'm hoping to get maybe a source from you. You're saying, Pam. I heard what you said that she was unable to fire her. I'm not sure if she attempted to, but you're telling me that they attempted to fire her and she was unable to. But are you telling me that she was unable to strip her from her duties and give it to someone else temporarily?
She was unable to do that.
Okay, well, we'll have to do our homework here, Maze.
The courts took care of it. And then, so you need to stop letting people think for you.
No, I agree. I'm not going to let any people think for me. I'm searching it for myself, including you, Maze. Because the news is saying that Pam Bondi has stripped that power from this police chief and has given it to a temporary person.
I'm telling you,
an emergency police commissioner.
And the judge said she couldn't do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't see that
Don't
anymore.
believe what I gotta say. Look it up and you'll find it.
I will.
Okay.
I'm just saying I
And
can't
what-
find it at this point, but go ahead.
But did ICE run out of money?
What about ICE?
ICE, yes.
I don't know if they ran out, but I know they got more, right? With the
I
big
know they got
beautiful
more,
bill.
but they ran out too. So who's paying for this?
The big beautiful bill apportioned a lot more.
I'm saying, who's paying for this?
I don't know. Who? Taxpayers?
I'd like to know.
I don't know. Taxpayers?
When
I forget. I don't know the deets.
I don't know who's paying for it. That's
Oh,
what
so
I
you have
don't
no clue?
I kind of got a clue.
So you don't know?
I guess the taxpayers are paying for it.
You
Or
guess?
the tax cuts, so somebody paying for it.
I'm not denying that it's the taxpayers, but now you're coming at me with the I guess, and it's just like,
So I-
well, Maze, did you call me? Did you call me to make a big stink about something you don't even know?
Oh, I'm asking you a question.
Right, I
And
don't
then-
know.
And then
So
what
are
we
you
saw
about to
that-
make a big stink about something you don't even know?
And the Putin photo op that we were looking at.
No,
and what are those
we're gonna
guys-
move on from that. We're just gonna move on from that.
Yes. And then the Putin big.
Where's the money coming from? No answers. Let me move on. Implications abound, though. Many
if it comes-
implications.
If it's coming out of our tax dollars,
You don't
how
feel too
much-
confident about that one, right, Maze? That's why you left that at
I'd like to
implications.
know where money is being spent and where it's going.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be
spend it.
working for
Yeah, Trump, spend that taxpayer money. Finally, it's used for something right.
So we settled that one. Can I go to the next one?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
The photo op that Putin them did. Who's paying for that?
I don't know.
People
Hopefully
in-
me.
Huh?
Hopefully me.
And then you got all these nets talking about some airplanes flying around. It's either gonna be two things: is he called himself trying to scare Putin, or he gonna give him those planes to make a deal with him? Which
Hey,
one?
Maze.
Which one do you think it would be?
Maze, you know
What?
all those Congress, you know all those congressmen, and they go to
What about 'em?
like Congress like every day and they do like work?
Some of them doing, some
Who's
of them
paying for
don't.
that? Wait, Maze. You know those street lights that you maybe used while you were driving? Who's paying for that?
That does not have.
Wait, Maze.
That's not causing a war.
You know
it's not
lunch? Huh? What?
It's not causing any harm to anybody.
No,
said
but
that
I just
photo op-
wanted you to know what that was like when you just say something
But I
like
know-
that
I know where
without
that's
any
going.
point. I just wanted you to be on the receiving end of that. Maybe I'm a little petty.
People taking a photo out with murderers and all of this, and then he went and
Who's
blew.
paying for that?
He went and blew up some stuff today. So what kind of peace? What kind
Yeah,
of
it's a Cold War.
a Cold War with
Yeah, it's Cold War.
European, it's a European Cold War.
Yeah, it's Cold War.
Have y'all realized that?
What?
Have you realized that it's a European Cold War? They fighting each other.
No, not Cold War.
And
I said it's called war. You're wondering how
they
can they
believe-
have this summit and so-called peace talks, but then the day after or the same day there be more like
All of this for-
more Russian attacks and all that. But clearly, I mean, that's
Why
really
you
just your
making-
ignorance. I mean, that's just the
know,
war's
they-
still ongoing.
How you making peace when you gonna go leave and go back home and blow up some more
But
stuff?
folks, let me explain to you what either Maze is really not totally ignorant on this, is really doing something dumb, or she's really trying to sell this to you folks. This is what's happening. She saw
I'm just
peace
giving you what
summit.
I
She saw peace summit. She saw whatever they said peace.
That wasn't no- that was a
Before
peace
she
photo
said she
of
saw
it.
the word peace over the heads of Trump and Putin, and then she saw a news article saying Russia attacks, kills 10, and she's
I
like,
didn't-
"Huh, Nick, where's the peace in that?" It's like,
There's no peace.
I know,
You can
but
make
it's
it-
very simple
peace. They ain't
thinking.
making
I
no-
mean, I wonder.
Unless you, that's why I say AI need to help you with
Because the
this.
war's ongoing. If you didn't catch that answer yet, the
Believe
war
in
is
war.
still ongoing.
And always talking about love and this and God, and you believe in
She's
war.
not even listening, folks.
And
I tried answering to her. The war is still ongoing. That's when that's happening.
Have you been watching these town hall meetings in these different states,
What town hall meeting?
in the different states for these politicians?
About what? What
About
town hall
running.
meeting?
Town hall meetings around the state. For them congressmen.
Which ones about what?
About them running for Congress.
Who's running
They're
for
not
Congress?
happy. But they want you to focus on black people and brown people, but we're not looking
Wait,
at what's
Maze,
going on.
what are you talking about?
And it's, huh?
Wait, Maze, what are you talking about?
They still afraid to have a town hall meeting with the people that sent them to Congress because they're not happy. That's what I'm talking about.
Maze, so far, the only information I have from you is you're telling me there's town hall meetings in the country.
I said they're not happy in the town hall meetings for the
Usually
people.
people aren't happy at town hall meetings.
Happy, they having fits in there. And
Yeah,
then some
usually
of
that's usually how those go.
them too afraid to even show up. They
Are you
sit
even
here-
familiar with what town hall you're talking about?
Huh?
Are you even familiar with what you're talking about?
Yes, I am familiar.
So
I don't
then
know
what town hall are you talking about?
Yeah,
Maze,
yeah.
there's town halls all the time. And guess what? Everybody at those town hall meetings are not too happy.
said for people that's running for Congress to get, why are they not at work now?
I don't
Why
know.
are they out of session? Because they are trying to run to stay in that job. And y'all talking about Jasmine Crockett and Margaret Taylor Greene. She's not happy either. And the people that put her there are not happy. So she might not be going back to her job because of the thing that was done.
Nice. They suck.
Y'all so busy talking about what black people doing, brown people doing, but you're missing the whole point of what's going on in your
Miss,
country.
you haven't said a point. You haven't said anything.
I have said it.
You're just like blah blah blah, and then you don't even care about me. Right now, I'm taking it personally. You don't even care about me. You don't even know that I'd be like, yeah, cool. I'm cool with Marjorie Taylor Greene being gone. You don't even care.
You're so busy watching airplane fly in a photo op. That's why you haven't noticed anything.
And now she's talking about some photo op. She didn't even hear a single word I just said.
That's what I saw that was ass. It's funny to me. That's why the AI needs to get something to help y'all with y'all disease, and maybe y'all will wake up. When you wake up, you're gonna be really mad then. What you trying to make?
You welcome AI telling us what to think and do.
That's how y'all do. Just like those people wearing those band-aids.
You want that?
Just like the people that wearing that band-aids. How many people put band-aids on their ear at that conference? Everybody in the room.
What?
I'm like, now look, it's how stupid do they think they look?
What are you talking about now, Maze?
When Trump them had their whatchamacallit, and they all had band-aids in the room.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous. And some of them still wearing a band-aid. Scalps have changed. the scalps on them so they can take the band-aids off. And the stupidity, too. I want to know American money.
Remember when the Democrats were wearing the stupid African stuff and kneeled for 8 minutes? I mean,
let me tell you
we could play the same game, Maze. Do you want to play that same game?
No, I ain't playing that game.
Remember when the Democrats wore the stupid black stuff and kneeled for 8 minutes? You want to play the remember game? I don't know what game you want to play here, Maze.
Let me tell you about Newsom. Let me tell you about Gavin Newsom.
Okay, fine.
Not nobody tell me what to think about him, because I don't think nothing about him either to run for nothing for me to vote for.
Nice.
See, I don't get stuck on parties.
Not even him like having like a beautiful family, a big beautiful family that stayed together maybe, I think, and not even that.
What is that supposed to do for me?
I don't know. I'm just wondering. It's just other people care about that. I was wondering if you cared about that.
Please, and not by black or brown people. Everybody coming to get you all, European people, and you're gonna be stuck out here by yourself. So Putin and Netanyahu are fighting each other, fighting too. Just like you talk about the black people, Europeans are fighting each other. But you're not looking at that. You can bring and the news media just right along with them, bringing y'all Newsmax and all of the stations. Every day you got to see something about what black people are doing. Talking about DC, really.
How can we not?
It's
incredible.
They need to go all around the whole...
How can you not? It's incredible.
They need to go around the whole country.
You're telling me you have nothing to say about a whole people. You have no love for these people in America. You have your brothers and sisters in America, and they're told a lie, and they're going around acting like insane people because of this lie, or largely, in my opinion, largely motivated by this lie, right? And the lie is what? You're justified. This is the simple lie, Maze. Let me just say it out simply. You can respond after. The simple lie is you're angry. Well, guess what? You have a reason to be.
I'm not angry.
And so
I'm happy.
not you, but all these people running around acting like maniacs, and you're telling me we should not care about that at all? Have you no love for these people?
We had people in prison and been pardoned that broke the law, stealing and going on, but then they want to help run the government. Really?
What? That didn't even sound like a response, folks. Steamroller Maze showing no love for me on the show.
You listen to
I thought you loved me, Maze.
Know how to think. When you know how to think, you can see things.
What do you want to say now, Maze?
Like where your money is. Want to watch where your money is going? I want to know where all of this money going for all this stuff.
No, you don't. Why are you such a liar?
Why don't I need to know?
You're such a liar. You're like, I need to know where every dollar is going. Only because it's like because the news told you to care, because it's Trump. But it's not. You would not care. You don't care about that, Maze. You don't care. Why are you lying about that?
I'll show you an example. Gavin Newsom and
Maze, why are you lying about that?
That show where they hated Indian
Maze, why are you lying about caring about where every tax dollar goes?
I want you to think and use your own head.
No, I'm asking you why you're lying about caring about where every tax dollar goes when you're only calling about it now when it's Trump or when it's all this stuff.
How did I tell you?
Huh?
What kind of lie did I tell you?
That you care about where every tax dollar goes.
I said mine. If I'm paying taxes.
No, you don't. Why are you lying about that? This is the first time you called me about that. And it's only because of Trump and it's because of all this. I didn't hear you say that during Biden.
They got some more government money.
I didn't hear you say that during Biden.
What?
So why are you lying? I want to know why you're lying about caring where every tax dollar goes.
And snatching them out of cars. You got a constitutional right.
I want to know why you care about where every tax dollar goes. I don't know what you're saying now.
No tic-tac.
My turn to steamroll.
You try to play a tick for a tack. It's just like I said. The money that's being wasted, and then you got criminals up there run, and they always screaming about the government, but they in the government taking other people's money. I don't understand that. And then you got people that been pardoned for stealing, and they running the government. So how do you tell me to stop to look at somebody else when the ones that running?
No, Maze. Let's be clear. You called me to do that. Let's be clear, Maze. Let's be clear, Maze. In fact, you call anytime you call. No. Let's be clear on this, Maze. No, Maze. We have to be clear on this. You call me to do that, and in fact, that's the only time you call me is to do that. It's to say, is to tell me to stop looking at black people. That's what you call me to do. You say, stop. Don't pay attention to these people. Look at these other people. That's what you call me every time to do. So let's be clear on that.
I said, if you think for yourself, you don't have to have other people thinking for you. Just like when you did Gavin Newsom and the vice president, you put them together because the media is talking about it, and you two do it exactly what they want you to do.
Well, that's your opinion, Maze. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
So you have a nice one, too.
Call me again. What a mess. Have a nice day. What? Let's be clear on that. You call me every day. Anytime you call me, Maze, it's to say, let's ignore these things and it's that's what you do, Maze. So let's just be real. Let's get to Robert, Kansas. How you doing, sir? On the air.
Hey, Nick, I'm high on Maze now, so
you need to calm down, sir. You need to take a moment, stop driving, stop doing anything, and just take a moment.
Well, it's like 5 or 10 minutes. I was smoking the Maze there, and so now I called to respond to William. These blacks, these blacks.
Why are you saying like that?
I used to live in a place called Lawrence, Kansas, right? I no longer live there. And I had this neighbor. He's dead now. His name was Vernon Oslinger.
Don't say names like that, man. Keep those kinds of details. You said he's dead?
And he said that what they did with the homeless, because William was concerned about getting rid of these homeless. And in so many ways, I agree with William. And there's so many ways that I agree with William. I don't mean to call in to be in opposition because on almost everything we would agree, but it's one of those things where you do have to figure out what to do with these people. Like, they do have to be somewhere. You can't kill them. I mean, you can, but that's
Go on.
You're gonna have retribution if you do that. So you have to do something with these people. And what they did,
and then you would deal with it then. Well, go ahead.
Well, what they did in the 1930s in Lawrence, Kansas, apparently there was something called the Great Depression. Mm-hmm. And all these homeless were just covering the streets. They're everywhere in their tents or whatever. And what the government did in the 30s was they gathered up all these people in Lawrence. And they took them up to a place called Lone Star Lake with shovels and pickaxes. And they had them build Lone Star Lake just to give them something to do. They paid them. They made sure they were fed. They had housing. And they literally went around on a bus, the police, gathered up all the homeless, took them out to the lake and said, hey, we got your food, your housing, your work. We're going to pay you, and you're going to build this lake. And that's what they did with the homeless. Now, am I saying what I know to do with the millions of homeless in America? No. But that's essentially what you do. You run it as a military camp. You put them up there. They're almost all drug addicts or alcoholics, right? So you stop that. And then eventually, most of these people are going to recover. Half of them are just insane, right? But then another half of them are going to get better. And they'll get up on out of there. Go go work for somebody. Go do something. But yeah, it's almost.
No, I love it. I'm not against that. Definitely some creativity in terms of what you can do would be required here. I definitely don't think. In my mind, now this is why I'm not a city planner, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, a huge block in removing the encampments is what do we do with them, right? I'm thinking, well, in some ways, maybe a lot of that can fix itself, but I'm definitely not against what you're saying. Like, put it like this. I'm not even against like charity, like, okay, housing and like helping people out. It's just, how can you have that when on the other end, you also have the exacerbation of all that by telling them, hey, you're allowed to be out there. You could do whatever you want. I don't know, whatever, any other way they're messing with society. If you kind of just stop that, then I guess it's fine to like house them and fix them and help where you can, where it's reasonable. It's just, you can't, it doesn't make sense that that you just have like an open door to, hey, you can have all the help you need, but also you don't have to get better. You don't have to do anything else. You just kind of have to take the help and just sit there.
Well, there you go. Yeah, Nick, you're
wrong. That's really
right.
the wrong thing, in my opinion.
No, you're absolutely right. And I've never been a drill sergeant, but I'm a military guy, and I know some guys out there who would know how to run these camps, right? Ronald Reagan said something. He said, "Trust but verify," right? So you run it as a military operation. Like you're not like second guessing whether or not someone's sneaking drugs into the camp. You know they are. So you are taking measures to, you see what I'm saying, man?
I totally do, because look, the way it is now, you wouldn't be able to. That would be an infringement of rights. It'd be an infringement. Oh, they're supposed to be housed first. You can't even check. Now, imagine if you could totally check all that stuff. You know, that's why they say when I hear about helping people, they'll bring up these things as problems. Oh, well, but they'll bring in drugs and you can't really check that stuff. Imagine if you could. Just imagine if you could do all those things, which, I mean, it doesn't seem unfeasible. You just need to be allowed to.
Hey, Nick, and another thing, bro, I know I throw different stuff out, but like one thing that you got to understand, brother, like I was, like one day I was picking up trash, right? Like I would walk my dog and I would pick up trash, when I still had a dog. And what I found out, Nick, is that like there are people who want the trash on the ground.
Help me understand.
There are people who want your streets littered with tents and homeless and trash and disgusting things because they are in a certain economic class where they can just ride above it all and watch you have to live amongst the filth. And so when I found out, like, these professors at the University of Kansas who make $400,000 or $500,000 a year are mad at me for picking up trash in our neighborhood, I realized that no, these are professors at a major university. They want the trash on the ground. They want filth on the streets. They want it effed up. And so if you go around picking stuff up, they hate you.
Well, I don't necessarily just deny or disagree with what you're saying. Just help me understand this mentality, because it seems to defy logic to me. Because, yeah, I mean, I understand there could be evil people and there could be people insulated from all this stuff and they're living fine while you're living right, and they just won't believe it because they're not living that. But help me understand this, where you get to this point where it's like, it's beyond that. This person is looking at you and wishing this upon you. I don't deny it. Help me understand this mentality. It escapes me. I don't even understand how that.
No, you said it, Nick. You said it defies logic. Like, why would you want?
But even evil people, this is what I'm getting at. Even evil people don't go around like, I wish homeless people on your street. Like, they have to have a really personal vendetta against you. Like, help me understand how this professor arrives to this mentality.
Hey, Nick, if you were to tell me it's so crazy that it's unbelievable, I would just agree with you. You don't have to believe me, sir. But I tell you what, man.
That could be an answer.
Evil is irrational, sir.
Yeah.
There is no, like, they want dirty water and dirty streets. And you're like, I didn't know that's what we were doing. I thought we were working all towards something to be better. Like we were trying to make things, we're going to mow our lawn and take care of our house and our neighbors and do the right thing. And it's like, no, dude, these people, like, be careful, guys. You're out there, you're picking up trash, or you're helping the homeless, or you're doing something good. There are people that hate you for doing that. And it is irrational, illogical. It is just evil, and there is no explanation for it. I now believe in demonic possession, Nick. I used to think it was the people. Now I think half of these people are just inhabited by some sort of force that is not even them. So then, how can I be mad at them? If it's not even them,
that's true,
they're
man.
Literally,
you can't.
They're literally victims.
It wouldn't make sense
so,
to. It just wouldn't make sense to be mad at them. Let me
let
me put it like this. Although I'm not denying what you're saying. I mean, I'm really not. It's just to help you understand my mentality, what I was getting at. I'll put it like this. Because when I look at a homeless person, I sometimes think to myself, that homeless person is homeless because they want to be. And I really believe that. I think the hungry person is hungry because they want to be. Like, if you really did not want to be, what I'm getting at is that we are motivated by things we don't even understand. We'll tell ourselves, I don't want to be homeless, but you won't get right. You won't fix. You won't get better. I mean, I know that's a crude summary, but I really believe that. But I think if you ask that homeless person, they won't say, I want to be homeless. They'll say, they'll come up with all sorts of excuses. So I'm wondering, what is this professor's excuse to say this to you, to say, well, this person's wrong for picking up trash? I wonder what their mentality is. I wonder if besides, it's just evil and irrational. I wonder what they come up with, and I wonder if you have any words on that.
Oh, Nick, I just think that if they can push people down lower and lower, that their position is higher. So if they can make things worse for the poor, that they are somehow elevated.
Fair enough.
And man, what were you saying? You were saying, that's what you asked me. You asked me a specific question. Dang it. Okay, well,
thanks
I
for
forget
trying
now,
to answer, man. Appreciate that.
Hey, I was trying to answer, bro.
I appreciate that, for real. Hey, but you did. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate your call, man. Anything else you want to say here, sir?
No, I mean, except that, like, what they did back in the day was they grabbed up all the homeless and they went and built a beautiful lake out in the middle of eastern Kansas.
Like like homes around the lake, like a community based around the lake.
Well, they literally had to build a dam to trap the water.
Oh, I gotcha. So they you're talking about the lake itself as well.
Yeah, like building the to trap the water on the stream, so that they would have
that makes total sense.
a place to fish and live and to congregate. That and it's just that's what you do. You go build something. I mean, but then what was I going to say? Yeah, that's right. That's what it was, Nick. It's that you're dealing with the homeless. And what it is it's about 50% just drug addicts, and then the other 50, which can be helped. That's the thing about the drug addicts; they can actually be helped. And the other 50% are mentally ill.
Yeah, man.
And so, what do you do with them? As someone who's not mentally ill, you have to be benevolent and manage those people as best that you can, keep them safe. And, you got to put them somewhere, man. And on the street where you and I are trying to walk down the road, Nick, and go have a Little Caesars with hate, that is not where we keep them.
So
keep
true,
them somewhere.
Robert. Man, I couldn't be that person. I don't know if I could be that person that has to deal with the, you're saying they're mentally ill and all that. I just couldn't because, I got to say, I think I'm wrong for this. I think my assumption is wrong at times. But I got to say, I got this knee-jerk assumption with people going through mental health episodes or whatever. I'm like, you liar. So I know obviously I should not be in any professional manner dealing with them or anything because that is my knee-jerk response. I'm like, you're fibbing. You're making this up. You're making this up.
One more thing I need to say, Nick, is I just called all homeless either drug addicts or mentally ill. And what I want to say specifically is that is not true for many, many of them that just have a circumstance in life that has occurred. Maybe they don't have parents. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you don't have any generational wealth, you have less wealth. You are much closer to homelessness. There are things that happen where completely honest, good, straight-laced people who are not drug addicts and not mentally ill become where they are in poverty. Okay, and this is just a natural course of the system we are in, and I don't mean to denigrate anyone who is maybe homeless and may have more understanding and connection to God than I can ever imagine. So it's not that I'm putting any homeless person down. Jesus was homeless. Okay,
But he wasn't begging and hungry.
He
wasn't littering and like being like he was what, I'm trying to think of a better word for homeless.
He didn't even need a house. That's how badass.
But he was like,
bro.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing about him. Jesus was like, you know how like a son of God, it's like you can like you'll understand me here maybe with this. It might be a little silly, but like kind of Mr. Magoo through life. It's like, yeah, you could travel to some town with no plan, but it'll work out because God's got you and he's got you fed and he's got you housed. But you know, I don't think your average homeless person is kind of like living like that, right? Like everything's going wrong for them. Like literally everything's going wrong, so to speak, so-called wrong inside of them, outside of them. And I'm like, that's not how a man of God lives. But I guess you were not referring to them. You're referring to the one out there who's maybe knows more God than you. We'll leave it at that, Robert. You made your point. I appreciate it, man. Call me again.
Okay, Nick. Good show. See you, brother. Bye.
Take care. Was Jesus homeless, folks? He just had no place to rest his head. But he's not going to get mad at you if you told him, no, you can't be here. You got to move on. Jesus, I don't know. I have to assume maybe a little bit here, okay? I have to maybe assume a little bit, but I have to assume that Jesus wouldn't act like that. Like, hey, you got to leave. You can't sleep there. And just start like throwing trash at you and yelling at you like some insane person, right? I don't see Jesus acting like that, okay? Okay. And it's like, that's really the sin, no, with the people out in the streets that I'm talking about. It's not even that they're homeless. It's that they're deranged, like from within. They've become corrupt. Their mind and their heart, they want what is corrupt. And it's like, that in itself is like false. Who is it that's wanting this, right? It's like, but this you that you call you has been fed to this point, where its appetite is such, and you literally hunger for the comfort of being underneath the bridge high. And it's like, now you got that appetite. And so you want that. You really do. Which is a funny thing, right? Because this want was inflicted on, in a sense. You picked up this want. You picked up this sickness. It's not even you wanting that. Like, you picked that up. And now you're stuck with this want. Isn't that strange? It's a spiritual battle. Holy. It's a spiritual battle. All right, so what else did I have for you here? I want to get back to my calls. Lovely callers. You've been waiting and holding. I want to get right to you. But what else did I have for you here? I don't know. I came across this Miss Palestine thing. I don't know. Was it that deep? Probably not. I just thought to myself, I mean, is it, do you guys really have time for this? Do you guys really have time for this? Miss Palestine to compete in Miss Universe pageant for the first time. It starts making sense politically, right? Like if you start seeing it that way, well, yeah, this is a political move. Now you got to say Palestine is a real country. There's no Miss Palestine. There's no Palestine. Right? You got to prove it. Prove there's a Palestine. Whatever. Miss Palestine, she's a pretty lady, right? Is that how Palestinians look? I was like, what's Miss Israel? Who's Miss Israel? Who's competing for Miss Universe? Who did Israel put forth for Miss Universe 2025? A Melanie Shiraz. Melanie Shiraz? Okay. Okay, so they're basically the same. Yeah? Miss Israel is like basically looks like Miss Palestine. Maybe. Hold on. Why can't I find you? I found a whole bunch of pictures of this lady. Now I don't see her. Images. Is her name Melanie? Miss Universe Israel. Hold on. I just was laughing because I'm looking at them like, okay, so they look the same. They don't. They really don't. I can see the details are different, but it allowed me to make that joke. I mean, they look kind of similar. What? Is it Semitic? No, I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. Is it a Semitic thing? I don't know what I'm talking about. this is just a chance to talk about my addiction. Are they even that brown? They're not even that brown. Okay. Miss Palestine. Anyways, let's get back to some calls. I know I had Halle Berry, too, on the docket. Halle Berry. I don't know if you saw that. Ex-husband saying that why they broke up years ago. Like, this is years ago. Personally, I don't know what happened. I have to imagine this guy, they brought him on some podcast and they asked him, what happened? Why didn't it work out? And you know, whatever. I mean, you go on a show and they ask you it. It's like, whatever. It's from years ago. You'd think you'd get over it, right? Halle Berry's not too happy. Now, it's all assumptions, right? Because she posted something on her social media saying she's cooking, cleaning, and mothering, which is exactly what her ex-husband said she didn't do, which is exactly why they broke up. You'd have to assume she's throwing a little bit of a dig, maybe. Well, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I'm over here happy cooking, cleaning, and mothering. And I'm like, Halle Berry's a mother? I don't know. It's not like I follow these people, but yeah, Halle Berry's a mama. Halle Berry ended up having children. Not with this individual, obviously. But she, in fact, did end up having kids with, like, a white man years ago. A model. They never married. Fellas, be very careful. Messing around, making children, okay, not thinking, okay. And why am I saying that? Well, look, these people had like it didn't go nice, okay? It was a custody battle. It was nasty. It was nasty. It was, in fact, so nasty, and I don't know the deets, but it ended up with this guy and, like black eyes, okay? Like, I don't know, some fight broke out, basically, between him and her new man. She ended up getting a new man. He's some French guy. And she was like, I'm moving our daughter to France to be with him. And, of course, he's like, you can't take our daughter away. I mean, that's my daughter. I know we're not married and all that. And we're having a custody battle. Now you want to take her to France? And it was nasty. It was, like, nasty in public. So, Halle Berry, busy mothering. Maybe she learned a lesson or something. Huh? Busy mothering after, you know, a lot of pain. I don't know. She seemed to have held on to some of that. Maybe don't respond to the world. I'm laughing a bit because maybe I'm looking at myself a little bit. Where in what areas I could be better in that, right? Don't respond to the world. I mean, it's just like the world is seeing you be affected. I'm busy mothering. You're busy showing the world how affected you were by this man talking about something that happened years ago. I guess that's how we all are, huh? We just go through this life, walking around, holding on to stuff. You can have money. You could be beautiful. You could be Halle Berry. You could already have your kids. You could have gone through pain, ups and downs. And then this person from years ago mentions something about you. It's all done. It's in the past. And you'll be like, I'm mothering. I'm cooking. Wow. It's not about Halle Berry anymore. It's about all of us. We go around life holding on to things. It's crazy. But that's enough of brown women. Let's move on here. 888-775-3773. Let's plow through these calls. You've been filling up my phone lines and waiting patiently. Jermaine, Canada, how you doing, sir? You're on the air. We got Canada in the house. Jermaine.
Hello?
How you doing, sir? On the air.
Hey, Nick. How are you, man?
All is well, man.
Nice. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Nice to hear from Canada.
I didn't catch your show on Friday. I was looking out for it, but I didn't realize you were streaming later on than usual.
It ended up starting a little later, too. It's funny. Bill told me I need to know my limits. basically I was moving really fast and it literally broke a mixer, a piece of gear for Friday.
Oh, okay.
And I had to run and go get another piece of gear to make it all work.
Oh, okay.
So-
No worries.
Thanks, Jermaine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, I was calling. I'm not sure if Derek kind of related to you, but I was calling about this. It's a famous financial show that people call into, just like Jesse's show. But
Is it is it a more modern show, like an internet show?
No, it's a financial advice show. It's a big show. If I give you a little bit of a context, this guy has been doing this for a while. He has some daughters and some son-in-laws, and they call into the show for advice on finances with house and all type of different stuff.
I'm probably familiar.
So, yeah, I mean, you definitely know the show. I just don't want to say it in here.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So this lady called into the show. It's so interesting, but it was both the two son-in-laws that was on the show, the host at the time, and she called in, and she was saying that she wants to combine finance with her husband, but her husband doesn't want to do it. And she was saying, she was saying that she give a little context behind their dating life, that they've been dating for at least a year. They've always been doing 50-50. They're both in charge of paying their equal share of 50-50. But now she said she caught him texting another girl. She went looking for it. So, of course, she found what she was looking for. And then now all of a sudden she wants to combine finance. She wants to know how much money he's making. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that, because you guys know you were doing 50-50 at the start. You know this guy for so long, and then you marry him knowing that you guys are doing 50-50. And the advice that she get was crazy. There was like, well, this guy is hiding something from her. I don't know. Maybe.
That's what
right?
that's what they were telling her.
Yeah, they're saying it's either he's hiding something from you, is abusive with money or drugs in some type of way. And I'm like, whoa, that's a stretch.
Wow.
And then they ask her, like, if she can pick up his phone, go through his phone and lock it, go on his social media, or go through his bank account. And she said no. And they're like, well, you don't have a marriage. I'm like, what the?
Wow. Yeah, stick to 401ks and investments, buddy. Like, stick to interest rates. Like, what the hell?
I'm like, this is crazy.
How would they know all that?
End, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And at the end, they were like, well, she said, oh, him and I, we both want to buy a house together. And they're like, well, guess who's going to pay for it? You. And I'm like, how though? Because they're both
50-50.
They're both equally spending their 50-50. They have a kid. They both pay their respective 50-50 for the daycare, for the house, for the bills and everything. And all of a sudden, she wants control over this guy finance now. And I'm like, but you went into a relationship knowing what it was. So I'm like, why all of a sudden now you want control over him?
Because it's not about finance. Did they bring that up at all? Did they say, hey, you want to put your finances together not because it's you consider it the right financial move, it's because you want to know exactly what he's spending on? Did they address that at all?
Oh, not at all.
Because that's the core reason why she wants to do that. Not because it's a financial move. We should do it because we're married. No, it's because I wanted to see exactly what you're spending on, because I think you're cheating and doing weird things.
Exactly. I was like, this is just interesting. I'm like, she needs to call. She needs to call Jeremy or Hank or Nick or something, because I'm like, this advice that she's getting is crazy.
And it seems like none of it. It seems like there was no attention to her, because it's not him that was calling in. It's not like the guy that called in. So there's right. It's the woman was calling in, right? You're telling me.
Yes, it was the lady that called.
And so they're
in.
talking to the lady. They're talking to her, and it sounds like they did not talk to her about her at all.
Not at all. They were just catering to her. They're like, and at one point they were like,
he called in, then we could talk about him. But She called in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with her that
Yeah.
she wants to make the relationship work so much that she needs to know what he's spending the money on now just because maybe she caught him texting another girl. I can see why he's texting another girl. This woman sounds crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, you want to marry. They're saying they want this. She wants this. You want this marriage to work. They're telling her this is not a marriage. Well, guess what's not a marriage? Watching his every financial move so that you could be okay with something. That's also not a marriage. I mean,
oh yeah.
If you got to have these second doubts about all this, I mean, it's just the wrong thing. But these people are married, right? And it's at that point, it's like you're married. Yeah, you saw something you didn't want to see. That's still not an answer to should we put our money together. That we're talking about a business thing. This is a merely rational, physical thing to do. And if it's not the right financial move, then you shouldn't do it for any other reason. And it's clear that the reason is for control and to know these things. So what I'm getting at is that even if you believe he's cheating and doing all these things and you believe you have a better view of all those things, that's not a reason to put the money together. A guy, now I don't know if that's what he was thinking, but when you have a status quo that's been working, even if it's not something you like, hey, a man and a woman married should have their money together. Maybe you believe that to be true. In this case, there was a status quo that was working. And most guys I know, that's how they operate. You know, it's like, if it ain't broke, why fix it type thing, you know? So it just doesn't make any financial sense. And I think the show you're talking about, I think that's what they deal with, finances. It's like, stick to that. Because I don't know, folks. There doesn't seem like there was any focus on what she did on her life. Because we all bring our own hell. We all bring our own problems. And we have our own thing to deal with. And even in this situation. Yes, even in this situation where he was apparently caught talking to some girl.
Yeah, they even brought up a part where, like, because they want to buy a house together, they're like, well, he's going to use you to buy the house. And I'm like, but how? Because you both paying your 50-50. And they're just literally, gaslighting her in a good way so to fulfill her ego and the craziness that is inside of her. I'm like, this is just crazy, man. What the?
Wow, man. Well, I appreciate you thinking about us.
And think
about Jesse and James and all that, and us about when thinking, hey, this person should talk to them. Thanks for thinking about us, man. It shows some support, you know.
Oh yeah, I wish I wish more people will tune in, but it's not until you're ready. That's the thing, because I remember one time I was watching JLP, and he was interviewing Zerka.
Yeah,
that was maybe 2-3 years ago, and I watched it, and it was such a funny interview, right? But it was funny, and I didn't catch exactly what he was saying until I was in my hell, and I was like, okay, I'm just done with this. I want something different. And I was going to church. I was baptized, but it still wasn't working, right?
Wow.
I was like, I'm missing something. And that day I went to church, and I was like, God, if there's any hatred or anything in me that needs to be cleaned out, help me do this. And the next day, I found JLP channel, and I was like, well, I remember watching this guy like 2 or 3 years ago, and I missed the message.
That's deep, man.
Crazy.
You found out Jesse through Zerka.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I think I heard you say that before.
Yeah.
That's very cool, man.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. Zerka's cool. I think he's brought a lot of people here this way too. Man, Jermaine, a pleasure talking to you. Anything else you want to say here before we go?
Oh yeah, do you know when Jesse's gonna go on Fresh and Fit? Because that would be amazing.
I don't know. That's a good bug in my ear though to see what, not to push, but maybe push a little bit. I don't know what I could do, but I don't know any deets on that, man. Thanks for the reminder though.
Okay, sounds good.
That would be amazing to see. I agree. Jermaine, call me again.
Yeah. All right, sounds good, Nick. Bye.
We're gonna rock through these fast. Rick, Hampton, Virginia, you're on the air. Rick, going once, Hampton, Virginia. Rick, going twice, Hampton, Virginia. We got Derek, Nashville, Tennessee. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
All is well, Nick. I just wanted to concur with you that I do have a proclivity for brown women as well. something
Hey,
about
wait.
a little more.
Yeah, go ahead. Go on.
A little more melanin in the skin. And the last we talked, I told you my house burned down, and I was in this hotel, and this gal happened to be in town that I used to talk to, and she's a creme brulee colored piece of par excellence, and she's like, "Do you want to see me tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure, come over." And she was on her way, and all of a sudden, I snapped back, and I'm like, "Oh, I went unconscious for a minute." And she's like, "I'm 30 minutes away." I'm like, "Oh no, I shouldn't have done that." And she shows up, and I was like, "Well, let's get some takeout." And it was really kind of embarrassing because I was like, "Oh, I was about to do something I didn't really want to do," but I was just thinking when you were talking about not responding to the world, I was like, I definitely responded to the world there, and she was stunned. She was rather irritated with me after getting ready and doing all of that.
Oh.
But I'll tell
she
you,
was
it makes me
expecting like more intimacy.
Yes, let's put it that way.
I see now. I'm following totally now.
And that's what I was going for. But I realized I go, wait a minute, I caught it, and it's like what you told me. It's what you told me that one day. Like, what if it's just always catching it? And unfortunately, I caught it when she was 30 minutes away.
Now,
she was like,
now was this like was this like very clear or something on her way, or could it have been like, could she have arrived and you were like, you know what, I just realized I got way into that. Let's just have a little date. Let's just talk and chill and or was it clear that's what she was coming to do?
Well, I thought we'd be hanging out, but when I was unconscious, there was kind of a clear line that we were heading towards.
Okay,
but
so you couldn't really play it off and be like, hey, let's just, right? It was a little harder to play off, be like, okay, no, I mean, this was what we were always going to do. I was just going to spend a lovely evening with a woman.
Right, and I was like, can we just get some takeout? And she's like, takeout? Like, what? What are you talking about?
Takeout.
And
I can get takeout anytime, sir. What's going on?
Right, and so I have a feeling we will not be speaking again in the future. But and again, I always think about like that, always catching it. And you're talking about not responding to the world. I'll tell you, with this fire, I feel like I'm the only one. Like I'm like, I don't care. It's just it's a practical thing to deal with now, and kind of seeing everyone, I'm like, why is everyone else? It's not even your house. Why are you all freaking out about it? Like you're not upset about it, and I actually think it's been this really wonderful. I know it sounds bizarre, a really wonderful thing to happen because it's helped me see things a little bit better. So, but anyway, I just thought I'd share that.
That's cool.
It was funny.
And funny, and awesome. A little bit of awareness saved you from going down a path that you didn't want to go down, right? Because we could talk to the ladies, we could talk, get to know them, and like learn how to deal with them. That's totally fine. It's just there was an itch kind of causing you to maybe act a certain way. And you're like, let me just drop that. But we're fine to talk and hang out and do all that. But that's hilarious, man. I welcome this call, Derek. Nice to hear from you.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank Jesse for church yesterday, and I appreciate you too so much.
Of course, Derek. Call me again.
Bye-bye.
Nice. All right, folks. That's pretty much it. That's the show. I hope you enjoyed it. That's it from me. I want to check something quick before we go. A little super chat action. All of the lovely donors. Thank you so much, everybody. Lin Yan Chin says, tell Billy to arm the photon torpedoes. Have him modulate shield frequency to offset the concentrated tachyons on the starboard bow ahead full speed. Lin Yan Chin with a little vessel lexicon. Huh? How about that? Stephen, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Speak life and stay present. Fight the good fight of faith from Chicagoland. Shout out Chicago. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for the support, man. And everybody else who's liked the stream and left a little comment and all that. It helps, and I appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you, everybody. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, and of course, the people here on YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. That's it for real this time. Bye. Oh, little Nick too. He's got to say bye. Bye.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.